On a hot June morning in 1943, somewhere near Tunis, Tunisia, an extraordinary German machine sits abandoned among the olive trees. Its engine cover is open. Ammunition lies scattered around it. The Germans have tried to destroy their equipment before retreating, but this one has survived. It is a Tiger. For months, Allied soldiers have heard what the Tiger can do. Its 88mm gun can destroy tanks at distances where many Allied crews cannot effectively reply. Its frontal armor is roughly 100mm thick. At nearly 57 tons, it is heavier than most tanks the Americans have in service. To the men who first meet it, the Tiger seems less like an ordinary tank than a moving fortress. But now, one of Hitler's most feared weapons is sitting still. American soldiers climb over the hull. They look through the hatches, they inspect the engine, the tracks, and the gun. Then the tank is recovered and driven towards Tunis before being shipped across the Atlantic to Aberdeen Proving Ground in Maryland. What happens next will reveal something the Tiger's reputation has concealed. And although there is no surviving wartime record proving that a single 14-minute encounter exposed the tank's secret, the story of those American examinations reveals something far more important. The Tiger was not invincible. It was a superb fighting machine built around serious compromises. The Tiger had been created because Germany had discovered, painfully, that its existing tanks were becoming outclassed. On the Eastern Front, the Soviet T-34 and KV-1 had demonstrated the value of thick armor, sloping surfaces, and powerful guns. German anti-tank weapons could still defeat them, but the warning was unmistakable. Germany wanted a heavy breakthrough tank that could carry the powerful 8.8-centimeter KWK-36 gun and survive hits from weapons that would destroy lighter panzers. The result was formidable. The Tiger carried a 5-man crew, weighed roughly 57 tons in later production, and could reach about 40 kilometers per hour on the road. Its 88mm gun was devastating, while its frontal armor could withstand weapons that were dangerous to the sides of the vehicle. But protection and firepower came at a price. The tank was complex, expensive, and labor-intensive. Its interleaved road wheels were sophisticated but difficult to maintain. Its Maybach petrol engine had to move a vehicle weighing several times more than many Allied medium tanks. Only about 1,350 Tiger Is were completed. In comparison, American industry produced tens of thousands of Shermans, while Soviet factories produced tens of thousands of T-34s. The Tiger therefore represented a very different philosophy of war. Extraordinary capability concentrated into a relatively small number of machines. The Americans had already encountered German heavy armor in North Africa, but the capture of Tiger 712 offered something battlefield reports could not: an intact enemy machine that could be examined piece by piece. The tank's exact capture history remains uncertain. Modern research by the Tank Museum suggests Tiger 712 probably belonged to the 501st Heavy Panzer Battalion and had served in Tunisia for months. British records also mention the vehicle, and American photographs show U.S. troops later driving it towards Tunis. The evidence suggests that it was abandoned in a German repair or supply area and survived because its destruction was incomplete. Records do not allow every movement to be reconstructed with certainty. For American ordnance specialists, this was an opportunity of enormous value. The Tiger was not simply driven around a proving ground and admired. At Aberdeen, engineers first examined the vehicle in an almost untouched condition. It was photographed beside an American Sherman equipped with the 76mm gun. Sections of its armor were later removed for metallurgical examination. The Tiger was then partially rebuilt and subjected to mobility trials, including tests in mud. The questions were practical. How much strain did the suspension take? How did the transmission behave? How easily could the crew operate the vehicle? How was its armor constructed? What could American weapons actually do against it? This was the real secret of the Tiger. It was not a magic combination of steel and gunpowder. It was an engineering system, and every engineering system had limits. The Tiger's 88mm gun gave it a remarkable advantage at range, but its weight reduced strategic mobility. Its enormous road wheels and complicated suspension demanded maintenance. Its engine and transmission had to cope with extraordinary loads. The tank could be devastating when properly maintained and tactically employed, but keeping such a machine operating was itself a military problem. And this distinction mattered. A tank does not win a war simply because it can destroy another tank. It must arrive at the battlefield, cross the terrain, receive fuel and ammunition, remain mechanically serviceable, and have a trained crew capable of fighting it. The Americans were learning all of this from a machine that Hitler's army had once presented as a symbol of technological superiority. If you're enjoying this journey through history, subscribing genuinely helps us continue bringing remarkable true stories like this to the channel. The battlefield soon demonstrated why this knowledge mattered. American tankers generally did not try to defeat a Tiger by simply driving straight towards its strongest armor. A standard 75mm Sherman had little chance against the Tiger's frontal protection at normal combat distances. The answer was tactical. Use numbers, movement, artillery, tank destroyers, and flanking attacks, rather than expecting one medium tank to overpower one heavy tank. Later, American vehicles and ammunition improved the equation. The 76mm M1 gun gave Sherman crews considerably greater anti-armor capability, particularly with the scarce HVAP ammunition. The 90mm gun mounted in the M36 tank destroyer, and later the M26 Pershing, offered a much stronger answer. But even these weapons did not turn the Tiger into an easy target. The British approached the same problem differently. The 17-pounder mounted in the Sherman Firefly gave Allied tank crews a powerful weapon capable of engaging the Tiger from the front under suitable conditions. The Soviet answer included increasingly powerful guns on vehicles such as the IS-2. The important point is that no single Allied design suddenly made the Tiger obsolete. Instead, the Allies built an ecosystem of solutions around it: better guns, better ammunition, more effective tactics, artillery, air power, tank destroyers, and, above all, overwhelming production. That was the uncomfortable truth behind the German heavy tank program. The Tiger was tactically formidable. It was not economically or logistically efficient enough to dominate a war fought on an industrial scale. The numbers make the contrast stark. Germany produced roughly 1,350 Tiger-Is. American factories produced more than 49,000 Shermans, with some sources giving figures above 50,000, depending on how variants and production totals are counted. Soviet industry produced more than 57,000 T-34s across its major wartime variants. These tanks were not equivalent machines, and simple production comparisons cannot measure combat effectiveness. But they reveal the strategic problem Germany faced. A Tiger could be more powerful than a Sherman in a one-on-one confrontation. That did not mean Germany could produce enough Tigers to replace every loss, cover every front, and maintain the necessary supply system. The Tiger also consumed extraordinary amounts of material and labor. Its complicated design demanded skilled manufacturing and maintenance at a time when Germany was increasingly short of both. The machine that looked so powerful through a gun sight could become a liability when spare parts, fuel, or recovery vehicles were unavailable. And that may be the most important lesson revealed by Tiger 712. American investigators did not discover a single hidden switch, secret weak point, or miraculous flaw that suddenly made the Tiger harmless. They discovered something more fundamental. The Tiger was a compromise. Its armor made it heavy. Its gun demanded space and ammunition. Its weight demanded a powerful engine and complex suspension. Its complexity increased maintenance requirements. Every advantage created another burden. This did not make the Tiger a bad tank. Quite the opposite. It remained one of the most formidable armored vehicles of the Second World War. Allied crews had very good reasons to fear it, but fear and invulnerability were never the same thing. Today, Tiger 712 survives as one of the physical reminders of that process. After its American testing career, it was modified for instructional purposes, including cutaway sections that exposed the machinery and interior. The vehicle eventually became part of the U.S. Army's armor collection and is preserved at Fort Moore, Georgia. Its battered history is itself a kind of archive, a German weapon captured in North Africa, transported across an ocean, examined by American specialists, and ultimately turned into an object of study. Return to that olive grove in Tunisia. The heat hangs over the trees. The German crews have gone. Somewhere nearby, the wider war is still moving forward, leaving behind wrecked vehicles, abandoned ammunition, and machines that have suddenly become prizes for the enemy. The Tiger sitting there looks complete. Its armor is still thick. Its 88mm gun is still formidable. Its huge tracks still cover the ground beneath it. But the mystery has changed. The question is no longer whether the Tiger is powerful. Everyone already knows that. The question is whether power alone can overcome complexity, cost, logistics, and numbers. The Americans who eventually studied Tiger 712 were not discovering that German engineers had failed. They were discovering why the tank succeeded and why those successes had limits. The Tiger could dominate a local battlefield. It could destroy an enemy at ranges where the enemy struggled to respond. In the hands of a skilled crew, it could be terrifying. But wars are not fought by isolated machines. They are fought by crews, mechanics, factories, fuel convoys, ammunition trains, recovery teams, and commanders making decisions under pressure. The Tiger represented the extraordinary strength of German armored engineering. Its survival in an American proving ground represented something else, the moment that an enemy weapon ceased to be a mystery and became a machine that could be measured, dissected, and understood. So the real secret exposed by the Americans was not hidden behind the Tiger's armor. It was hidden behind the legend. The Tiger was powerful. It was dangerous. It was technologically impressive. But it was human engineering, with human limitations. And once the Allies understood those limitations, the Tiger could no longer be feared as an unstoppable monster, only respected as one formidable machine in a war ultimately decided by men, machines, resources, and time.